Paxton and to check on all of the girls. Welcome to the replay. For an update on today, we had one doe deliver today. Her name was Plaza. She had one male. His name is Paxton. He was not doing well directly after the birth, not doing well at all. His birth was a little rough. He was born not breathing and with very little heartbeat. But he is doing so much better now, to the point that he is jumping out of his bin already, which is, good in a sense. Hey, bud, come here. So, this is Paxton, guys. Look at this little guy. He can he can't really stand up right now, but he is doing so much better, guys. Like, I can't even express how much better he's doing. If you didn't get a chance to see his birth and you wanted to, that is on our YouTube page, so make sure you can go see that if you'd like. But he's doing super well, and look at him. He's just absolutely adorable. First baby of the season, so we absolutely love that for him. I'm out here to get him his bottle though. So we're going to get some hot water running, and I'm going to get his bottle out of the fridge. Oops. And we're going to get it over here, and I've got nips there, and I'm going to let him wander around for a little bit. I say wander, he's just going to mostly like flop around a little bit, because his legs are still a little bit unsteady. So we're going to heat up his bottle so that he can drink that, because he still hasn't really eaten well. Not surprising, in all honesty. He had a rough birth, so I am not surprised at all that he is a little bit behind the 8 ball when it comes to eating. But you can see, like, if you look here at his pasterns, he's sitting really bad on his pasterns. We see that a lot in slightly harder deliveries. But he can stand. He even caught himself. All right, we've got our milk warming. We've got Paxton peeing and slipping into his own pee. Hey, bud, there you go. So that's Paxton for you guys. I'm going to go out and we're going to check on all of the other does. We're going to check on his mama, and I will kind of let you guys see all of that. Marsha says, hey, Emery. Hey, Marsha. And Anne says, hello. Hello, Anne. And then we have Sunshine Smith, Allison, maybe, who says, hi, Emery, who is his mama? His mom is Plaza. We'll go see her in a second. But right now, I'm going to hop over and take a look at all of our beautiful moms and make sure we're not having any more babies for the night. So we've got Victoria here. We've got Ferris Wheel and Flower and Xandra D and Farley and Pensley, who's bagging up and has lost ligaments. That's fun. And Zelina there. We've got this mama over here in the corner looking pregnant as all get out. You gonna do something crazy for me tonight? No, we're not gonna do anything tonight. We've got Madrigal here. We've got Slender. Got Thea, Heartland. Thea's a girl I've been watching. We're not looking like we're gonna do anything there though. Sesame, Hepra, Tea Time, Villette, Theology, Zetra. Let me peek my head outside, make sure we're not seeing anybody out here. Timepiece, what are you doing out here? You trying to be sneaky? No, you're not. You're just being out here. And then we can check on our first fresheners. Then we'll make it over and see. My knees, guys. I'm getting old. Okay. Invests on Paxton, and your prediction in Plaza was right on the mark. Yep. Kim says hi. Cynthia says, oops, autocorrect, supposed to say congrats. Congrats on Paxton. Yes, that makes a little more sense. Yes, we are so glad he's doing well. Carol says, good evening. And Deanna says, hello. All right, so over in this pen, we have got Some loose ligaments, but no goo. Tighter ligaments, not happening. Zenoria's dough we've been watching a little bit. Not seeing anything in particular that's going to say we're delivering tonight, but she still has a look about her. Oh wow, no ligaments at all. Do you have a gutter? No, not really. Okay. All right, so we're sitting just fine with these girls. We're not going to have Zenoria. I think is probably one of the ones that I'm most inclined to say can start for the first fresheners. And then here's Plaza. This is Plaza, our mama. She is the one who had Paxton, who we're going to go see again. And we got to check she has water. She does. All right, so we will head back and check in on Paxton again and look at his bottle and get that prepared. Maybe rerun the water. Oh, here's Malfoy. And wow, we've got all three of them. This is Malfoy, McGonagall, and Ginny, our three newest barn cats. Let me say hi. They love people, and they are very friendly, which is nice. Ginny's the most Oh, you're gonna climb? You're gonna climb my leg? Let me see how it is. Oh, we're all both gonna climb my leg. I've got to switch laundry too. What are you doing, McGonagall? I've got places to be. All right, and then Jason, of course. Hey, Paxton, you're up. I wasn't expecting that. Not gonna lie. All right, so while I switch the laundry, do you guys have any questions? I'm gonna check the lift. Sorry, you guys get close-ups of everything. Like our clean filter, every load, prevent a fire. Yeah, it was my dad after being thoroughly fed up with having to replace dryer parts because people weren't switching or cleaning the lint filter. All right, laundry is switched. You guys have any questions for me yet? No? Okay, Shepherd says, good evening. So there's that, and then we're going to refill our laundry. With Paxton. Oh, I caught him going down. I know, Eddie. I know. All right. Let's get this one too. Jason, I'm going to steal this towel from you. All right. So, give ourselves a shout out. I mean, seriously though, if you've ever, wondered if our laundry soap works, I'm not sure there's anything nastier than barn towels that we use for deliveries. Like, am I right? And if this stuff works for that, it's gonna work on whatever you guys need. Just saying. This is what we use for our barn clothes. This is what we use for all sorts of stuff. This is on quick wash. We don't want this on quick wash. We want this on regular wash. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to turn that off, or shut that, so that I can hear everybody think. Hear myself think. Sorry. Did you do the live birth on YouTube or just a video? We did we did the live birth on YouTube, although there was a part that it kind of like glitched, so I'm not sure if something happened, but it was live on YouTube and it should still be on YouTube, although it might take 24 hours because it was a long form video, it might take up to 24 hours before it's active and live. So if you missed it on the actual live, it might be 24 hours before you're able to see the replay. So if it's not live right now, that's what's going on, and it will be live in 24 hours, which means you'll be able to see it tomorrow. She says, your baby is a talker. Yes, he is. He is loud. He also hasn't had dinner. And he's been around, it's not true. He had a few mouthfuls. Coulter came out, and when Coulter did the night feeding, he got him his bottle warmed up and everything, but didn't have a chance to really get to it, or he didn't really drink much of it. Okay, well, our milk feels pretty warm. Let me check. Sorry, you guys are just gonna have to get put down for a second. Yeah, so we've got warm milk now. So we're just gonna put a clean nipple on, and we're gonna see if this buddy will drink. So we're just gonna do this number and this number, and let's see if he'll have any of his dinner. There we go. Look at that. We're going right on the bottle. Right on the bottle. That's what we love to see. So these guys, in the birth, you may have, if you were there for the birth, you may have noticed that I told you one of the things that I loved seeing was he peed directly after birth. Peeing directly after birth is a great indicator that everything was working smoothly during the pregnancy and during the delivery, which there were a lot of indicators that were saying that things hadn't worked out smoothly or the way they were supposed to. Things like there was a lot of meconium staining in the amniotic sac, in the fluids, and so that was clearly signs of distress for either both mom or baby. He had a lot of fluid in his lungs. We had to expel a lot of that. I didn't get to watch the replay to see if that was any caught on camera. Let's just say the camera was not my priority at that point. Getting him breathing was by far where I was trying to make sure the priority was. So once I got him breathing by expelling a lot of the fluid from his lungs, I was able to get his heart beating nice and strong with some good vigorous stimulation. And then he was able to start thrashing about a little bit. His muscles started working again, and everything just kind of started on an uphill climb from there. All of that to say, we are not surprised that it's been 4 hours now, and he hasn't had a bottle yet. This is his first, again, he had a few mouthfuls, but this is his first bottle, if you will. So it's been 4 hours and he hasn't had a bottle. But because we saw things like the fact that he was peeing directly before, that means that the umbilical cord had to be working still and he was still getting the nutrients he needed. So things like being able to bring him into a heated room, like we're in now, so that he doesn't have to put his energy into keeping his core temperature up, getting him off of the concrete, which is going to be a lot cooler. He's on it now, but like long term, putting him in a bucket like this, he just came from the womb. A bucket like this feels like a lot of space. Just putting that out there. And then it also helps him not be able to like run around and be super generous with his energy. We wanted that energy to be spent with him getting really strong and healthy and ready to move forward. So 4 hours later, he is now ready to actually have a bottle. We'll need him to finish this bottle within 24 hours. I'll be back out in 2 hours to give him the next rest of his bottle. But that's a great chunk. That's going to get him really started. That's going to get him able to really start processing milk, because he hasn't really started to learn how to process milk. It's a whole new thing. That's why within the first 24 hours, 48 hours, you're going to see his poop is going to totally change. It's going to go from a dark meconium, which is all of the nutrients that he's getting through the umbilical cord, to a bright yellow meconium that is milk meconium, because when he starts going onto milk instead of nutrients through the umbilical cord, it's going to change tons of the way that his body's processing. So half a bottle of milk will allow him to really start processing all of that, build up his energy, and that will really start to work wonders on his body. Again, I'll be back out in 2 hours to give him more. He could probably take a little bit more, but he certainly doesn't need it right now. And he he's starting to be finicky about it. I also don't want him to be, I want him to be hungry in 2 hours for his next bottle, because that's the one that's going to have to get him through the night. And so I want him to really, work on it, because it's 8 o'clock now. So if I feed him I'll probably end up feeding him at 11, so probably 3 hours from now, who knows. And then Coulter should be here at 5 in the morning. So hopefully I won't have to get a bottle in between those. It'll just depend on really how well he does at that next bottle. So that is kind of where we're at, guys. That's where we're at. I'm going to read some of these comments. Oh, thump. All right. Marsha says, it's a great laundry soap. Yes, it is. Marsha says, I watched the replay. Okay, so it does look like it's live, so that's good. Okay, what time was he born? He was born at 3:30. Tammy says, hi. Hey, Tammy. Marsha said, I would just look under goat milk stuff. It is the second video of the day. Yep. And Lori says, a kid, I see a kid. Yep, this is our first kid. This is Paxton. He started off with a really rough delivery, guys. It was not pretty. It was not fun. But mom is doing great. Baby's doing great. Yes, he's a little down on his pasterns. Yes, he's a little behind his eating schedule. None of these are things that I'm worried about. We have seen tons more problems with that we can overcome. So this is going to be, he's going to be just fine. Tammy says, he is a big baby. Yeah, he was just over 9 pounds. He was actually 913. So he was a pretty big baby. Not the biggest we've seen, but not something that I was super happy to see. I would have loved to see a good 8-pound baby. That would have been much nicer all around. Summer Girl Mama says, hi. So does Penny. And Kelly says, he looks a lot better now. He really does. It's amazing. It's amazing how fast things can change around. So we'll be keeping a good eye on him all night as well. I'll be back and forth all night, but you know how it goes. All right. Bree says, another Jonas baby on the way. Yep, another one on the way. Is there another Jonas baby on the way? Yes, there is. Ashton and I will be expecting in the spring. So after all kidding season, we'll be next. So fun news there to share as well. All right, let me put his bottle away. Bottle away. I will need to give him an extra 3 ounces of colostrum because Coulter didn't. I need to write that on the board. Copy that there. Right on this board. Okay, so Paxton needs plus 3 ounces of colostrum. That's written on the board, so we can get that done. Thanks, guys. I love all the congratulations. All right, well, I have been out here long enough. Did I put him away? I was like, where did he go? I have been out here long enough. So we're going to put him back in his bin. We're going to allow him to settle down for a good nap. And then I'm going to get to say goodnight, guys. And Tammy says, so you have a niece or nephew, Emery. I don't quite understand that comment, not going to lie. But if you're asking if I have a niece or a nephew, I have 4 nephews and 1 niece. All right. Good night, guys.